I'm happy to support this today, though. I do have some questions for staff, though. So when we're thinking about safe parking, that is a low-level fruit to achieve. I mean, we find a location, it's kind of turnkey, we move forward with it right away. When you compare that with, say, sleeping cabins or more permanent housing, that takes longer to develop, longer to follow up on. Is staff looking at implementing it all at one time, or are we looking at where we can get to as quickly as possible as we move forward? I didn't see a timeline of how we're moving forward, and so I just wondered, how are they tracking this, and are there benchmarks that they're putting out there that they anticipate hitting, so that it's easy for me to take it back to my constituents to say where we are in the progress of it. And I know staff's working really hard on it, and I'm very pleased with it. I just, so often we're the ones that communicate to our constituents. I just want to make sure I accurately reflect their efforts.
Yes, sir. This is Marco Medved with General Services. So we're looking at about 7 significant sites right now that have promise. Of course, the faster ones would be safe parking, because they have the least amount of infrastructure that would need to be improved. We think we can do that in 9 to 12 months from now. It'll depend on the site selection, the community support thereof, and then there are some specifics to safe parking like lighting, showers, security, and making sure that it's a safe environment free of hazardous material. So that would be the fastest method for sure.
And how about benchmarks? Do you have any kind of set benchmarks that can be shared that people can look towards?
Right now, it's
in
about
their timeline.
Yes, sir. Right now, it's about looks like about an average of a year, plus or minus 6 months, depending on the complexity of the project. So if it's an RV park where we have to install a lot of utilities and whatnot, and have a CEQA process to go through, maybe on the higher end. Certainly, the safe parking would be 3 to 6 months faster than that.
And Chair Fletcher and Supervisor Anderson, I appreciated the question, Supervisor Anderson, about what are we taking on, and it's all of the above. When we developed this framework, and we walked and did the briefings with each of the supervisors, each of you, we talked about where we were going full throttle, whether it's the diversion and mitigation, or we're doing the outreach services or safe parking, or then even the more permanent housing. The truth of the matter is we need all of the above. All cylinders are in. And that's why we created, in terms of the new homeless solutions, equitable communities that Barbara Jimenez is leading, in concert with David Estrella for our housing department, with Luke Bergman, with behavioral health, what we're doing in child welfare. So we are presenting all of the options that we're pursuing. I think we're taking a little bit more detail in the ones that Marco just talked about, but it's not exclusive to all the things we're capturing and pursuing to helping the homeless.
Thank you for that. I just want to make sure, though, we're not thinking, well, they all have to be rolled out at the same time. Certainly, the long-term care is going to take a lot of time, and I get that. But the safe parking, in many instances, I hope it doesn't take 6 months to do that. I hope it's closer to 3 months or even shorter, because that requires very little, and yet it has a high yield. So you're doing a great job. You're working really hard. I don't want to discourage you, but of course, like everyone else, I'm in the back of the car saying, are we there yet? So I'm sorry for that.
Thank you. Supervisor Anderson.
Aye.
Supervisor Lawson-Remer.
Aye.
Supervisor Desmond.
Aye.
Vice Chair Vargas.
Vargas, aye.
Chair Fletcher.
Fletcher, aye.
That motion passes unanimously with all supervisors being present and voting aye.